Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Recplex in St. Peters. We've got the state semifinal, second game between CBC and DeSmet coming up. Second game between these two. Also the second game of the evening. The Junior Billikens of St. Louis University High School did everything they needed and then some to advance past the Red Devils of Chaminade. And so they are already in to the state final game on March 13th, and now it's time to determine who they will play. It will either be the white and purple clad cadets of CBC or the maroon and gold clad Spartans of DeSmet Jesuit High School. My name is Tom Eichwald, back in the booth, and alongside me is Dean Meyer. Good to have you, Dean of Students at CBC.
Great to be here. What an atmosphere. A lot of fun tonight. A lot of people here.
It should be. Now, last Saturday we had a great atmosphere too. Take us through what we saw in the first game between these two.
Well, CBC got off to a really quick start last game and scored 2 quick goals early, which really deflated the sails of DeSmet. And then DeSmet battled back and put up a really good fight, but ultimately the CBC forecheck was just a little bit too much for DeSmet.
So the energy from CBC and the forecheck getting the job done last week. What's it going to take tonight? Let's start first for DeSmet, just in terms of playoff scenarios. If CBC wins or the game ends in a tie, CBC advances to play the Junior Bills on the 13th. If DeSmet wins and then wins a 10-minute mini game, they would have to win both in order to advance. If DeSmet wins in regulation, CBC wins the mini game. Of course, CBC would advance. A shootout would decide that mini game if need be. What does DeSmet need to do tonight to get that result?
Well, I think they're going to have to get a lot of shots on goal. They're going to have to start off real strong, and they're really going to have to establish themselves in the neutral zone and try and take away CBC's time of possession with the puck.
For CBC coming into this one, obviously you're riding high off the confidence of last week. Some kind words from Frank Cusimano on NBC saying that they would be a formidable opponent for the Blues. They're not getting ahead of themselves here. But what does CBC need to do to come in and see this out?
Well, I think getting off to a strong start, getting that first goal is very important for CBC, and to once again establish the forecheck early like they did last game and maintain possession of the puck.
We are getting all set here in the Tim Kylo broadcast booth. We'll tell you about many of our sponsors who make this broadcast possible throughout the night. We are getting set. Again, the CBC cadets will be in the white, and DeSmet will be in the maroon. We are getting set for the starting lineups here. We'll bring those to you as soon as we have them. We're trying to keep one ear open for the public address so we know when they're transitioning into that. But you'll hear about all of our sponsors. We just want to give a general thank you at the beginning as we thank them throughout the broadcast. Tim Kylo, East Bay, Mercy Sports Medicine, TJ's Pizza, Chick-fil-A. So many groups, so many people to make these broadcasts possible. Also want to thank our students. We got Max Adamski running the board tonight for us. As always, our director, Randy Gardner, getting the job done. It's been a long month for CSN.
Yeah, quite an atmosphere here at the Recplex. Sold out student section, and as we get ready for the national anthem here.
We're going to take a break during the national anthem. We'll come back for starting lineups. Well, it wouldn't be an instrumental national anthem at a high school sporting event if you didn't have the out-of-sync fans singing along as well.
Boy, were they.
Our captains are taking the ice tonight. This will be for DeSmet, number 88, Nick Thorpe, and for CBC, number 11, Eric Brown, leading goal scorer in Challenge Cup playoffs. For CBC, we've also got number 23, Mike Deba. For DeSmet, number 27, that is Owen Benben. Rounding out the lineup for DeSmet, it looks like number 19, Josh Abel. Number 22, Justin Reynolds, and number 11, Steven Randazzo. And it does look like Will Oliver retains his spot in goal. For the CBC Cadets, Caruso in net. Van Kramer and Evan Hubert starting out in the back. Deba, Brown, and Kleinschmidt are the starting front line. Brown with it off the face-off. He's going to dump it in. Again, CBC getting off to a very, very fast start last weekend. They'll look to do the same with some high energy. Goalmouth, Kleinschmidt gets stuffed by Oliver. And DeSmet's going to look to clear the zone here.
Yeah, and DeSmet's going to really have to rely on Will Oliver tonight to play his best game.
Looked good early, held his position strongly. A lot of pressure coming in on that crease. DeSmet's going to clear the zone. This is Owen Benben. Across the ice, chipped in, no offsides. That puck was chipped in by number 22, Reynolds. Still DeSmet. Thorpe in the middle. Takes a bad deflection. Caruso does a nice job to deal with it. Hubert's going to clear. Dumped back in by DeSmet, though, and now Caruso's going to jump on it. Good fast pace to start this game. That's about what we were expecting, I'd have to say, isn't it, Dean?
Yeah, I think so, and I think puck possession is going to be really, really important tonight, and CBC is going to really try and control that neutral zone and maintain puck possession as long as they can.
It'll be a face-off on the dot to Caruso's left. Taking the face-off for DeSmet, number 91, Michael Mullen. CBC is going to beat him, though. Good pass across the ice. Opportunity here for Randazzo. He gets stuffed, though, by Ben Opick.
That should be icing.
That should be. Looks
and
like
I think one of the things that Coach Jost probably told the guys in the locker room was to get a lot of pucks on net.
for the Cadets, it is Max Brown and Brogan Rumpf. Now the defensive line, that second defensive line up front for the Cadets. It looks like Joe Gagan, Hoppy Randazzo, and Jack Ritter.
And again, some of the freshmen playing up on the varsity, Brogan Rumpf, for example, has just been outstanding all year.
Also important in this game with the lead like CBC has, you got a one-game lead. You just need to kind of frustrate DeSmet for a while, maybe get a few goals in the process. But you think the face-off dominance, so far all CBC on the face-offs, if you can maintain puck possession and kind of dictate the game on your own terms, you got to like CBC's chances.
Absolutely. And I think the guys know, too, they don't have to win by 10 goals. They just have to put up a win tonight.
Goal,
oh boy,
DeSmet.
What a shot.
Way too much time on the shot given to Jack Estes.
Yeah, you can't leave a DeSmet player like that sitting in the high slot all alone.
And he gives Caruso no chance. When we've seen CBC struggle throughout the season, one of the hallmarks of that struggle has been getting sucked a little bit too far close into the goal, getting sucked a little bit too low, so to speak, and leaving those sorts of shots open.
Yeah, when you leave a player open like that, though, in the face-off circle like that close, they're going to bury that shot 7 out of 10 times probably.
And that is a perfect start if you are a Spartan. That is exactly what they were hoping for. Send a message early, maybe get CBC a little bit antsier than they would like. And the DeSmet crowd is matching the energy of their team. Good forecheck there. Only a two-man forecheck is able to take the puck from CBC. Caruso gets spilled. Still DeSmet.
Yeah, the Cadets are having a hard time breaking out of their own zone right now, and that's going to really not bode well for the future here if we can't get that taken care of.
Van Kramer in for Riley House. Puck just a little bit behind him, and Oliver's going to send it around. Do we have a trip? No.
No call on that one. Very experienced referee here, though. I think we're going to get a good game out of him tonight.
Riley House fires wide. Tony Andrews had a couple of assists last Saturday as well as a goal. Puck all the way across. It was a good one. And here comes DeSmet. Wide open look here. Off the post.
Hit the post. Hit the post.
Good move there. Good skill by Owen Benben. Just could not beat the post. Caruso was beaten. That puck's in. Caruso spills. And that's put wide. Good pressure here from DeSmet. Benben again. Good job to keep it in the zone initially. But you got to give credit to Kobe Weber for throwing himself at it, just trying to get it out. Here come the Spartans. Pass finds Eric Brown, who's wearing the wrong color for that pass. Now Deba in transition. We say it a lot. This is what you want. Deba's shot only into the shin pads of Ben Lotus. And some good skill there. That was Benben again. Knows he should have had a goal. He's hungry for one now. Owen Benben Really talented with the puck.
Well, I'll tell you, DeSmet's really come out strong here in the beginning.
Cameron Osdiek got a shot in there too. CBC trying to clear it with Brendan O'Donnell. A lot of contact here.
Yeah, again, the Cadets are having a hard time breaking out of their own zone, though.
Eric Brown, shot deflected. One of the things I will look for in this game, so far there's been a lot of borderline trips and interference. Have to see that this officiating stays consistent. You don't want this game coming down to something that gets called in the third period, doesn't get called now.
I agree. I agree.
Puck across for Ben Opik. Dumps it in. Caruso's going to kill it behind. He's got O'Donnell, Gagan, and Kramer helping him out back there. It will be O'Donnell. Now on the way out, Jack Ritter. Good skate to clear that from Reynolds. And here comes DeSmet again. That time CBC did a nice job of getting to the puck early. Max Brown around behind. Hoppy Randazzo is going to go in against Josh Abel.
Tell you, I sure like the pace of the game, though. It's a fast game, up and down, back and forth.
Does the pace favor either team?
Well, I have to think it favors CBC at this point.
The
faster the pace.
Another good point-blank stop from Oliver there. That time it was on, that was Joe Gagan. So the fast pace favors DeSmet. If you're CBC, do you look to possess the puck a little bit, slow it down? I'm sorry, favors CBC. If you're DeSmet, you look to possess the puck a little?
Yes, I think so.
Fires wide.
That's the second time, though, they've gotten behind the defense right there on an odd man rush.
There's the captain, Thorpe. Oh, and Ben in front goal. Ben with the nifty pass to Steven Randazzo. And just like that, it is 2-0 Spartans.
Once again, an open DeSmet player right in front of the net.
Can't say enough good things about Owen Benben, number 27, in the start he's had to this game. So that is an assist for Ben. He's also hit a post.
I think Coach Joe's called his timeout here. I think that's a good move. He needs to settle everybody down here and regroup and just let the guys know what they need to focus on here, which is puck possession and keeping them away from the front of the net, really.
Is it as simple as just do your jobs, be in your zones?
Yeah, everybody just needs to settle down now and do their job individually. And they really need to be careful in front of our own net. That's twice now that they've left somebody wide open in front of the net.
Well, if you're joining us a little bit late, welcome to the broadcast. Tom Eichwald alongside the Dean, Jeff Meyer, bringing you CBC DeSmet. The start was good intensity from CBC for the first minute or two, but since then it has been all DeSmet. DeSmet has scored 2 goals here in the last couple of minutes. They lead 2-0, courtesy goals first from Jack Estes and then from Steven Randazzo. Their energy's been impressive. At the other end, Will Oliver has done a nice job on 2 point-blank shots. That's really the difference between CBC and DeSmet right now.
Well, and CBC needs to put a lot more pressure on DeSmet, and they need to really test Oliver now.
Face-off won by DeSmet. It's their first face-off win, if memory serves. Now Deba, he's got Brown in the middle. And that is out, but it looked like it got tipped off of DeSmet's stick. And it'll stay in the zone. Cadet fans, are you protected? Call State Farm agent and CBC alum Tim Kylo for all your insurance needs. Tim is more than just the best insurance guy in town. He's also the presenting sponsor of CSN, and we're incredibly grateful for his support. Call Tim at 314-842-4442 or send him an email, tim@timkylo, that's KILO.com. 9 minutes, 44 seconds remaining in this first period. Shaping up to be a fun night of high school hockey. Shooting opportunity, that one's tipped wide. Ben Kleinschmidt, the freshman. Doesn't look like a freshman on the ice.
No, and again, CBC is going to really have to get some puck possession time in DeSmet's zone and put some pressure on Oliver here and really test him.
It's Brown taking the face-off. He's squaring off again against Michael Mullen. This time CBC does win it. Kleinschmidt around behind, up top, intercepted by Deba. Near post save by Oliver, a little bit too easy. I don't think Deba got quite the elevation he wanted on that. He wanted it over the shoulder.
Yeah, Will saw that one the whole way.
Yeah, around behind for Brown.
Good pinch by Kramer there on the.
Yep, that was, kept it in the zone, and it's going to give an opportunity now to Grant Kleinschmidt, who gets hit for his trouble. DeSmet still. Puck in front.
Oh,
another
almost
one.
in off a DeSmet player.
Another one point blank. Another save. That's about 5 saves so far.
Yeah.
And got to say, it hasn't been pretty from Oliver, but he's being strong and being big when he needs to be.
Yeah, and that's what CBC needs to do, though, is keep putting pressure on and keep getting shots.
Got to say they're close, though. DeSmet doesn't quite get the elevation he wants. A couple loose pucks haven't quite bounced the right way. If you're CBC, you got to stay patient. The opportunities are coming. They got a good spell in the zone here. This has been about 30 seconds into the Smet zone, which is the longest spell we've seen.
Yeah, and I'm sure Coach told them, too, during the timeout. A lot of time left. I mean, it's only the first period, and there's still 9 minutes left in the first period.
And puck in front. The old pass off the goalie. DeSmet couldn't, Drake Nicolaisen couldn't tap it home. Puck cleared, and Caruso's going to take the icing here with 8:46 to go in the first period. Better in the last minute or so from CBC?
Yeah, definitely better, and I see he's got a new line out there. He's got Hunter Bulger out with Drake Nicolaisen and Joe Gagan, and that's just trying to create some more offense there.
And as soon as you say that, of course.
As soon as they say that, of course, he changes it. But that's based on who DeSmet put out.
And we're back to Brown, DeSmet, and Grant Kleinschmidt. Brendan O'Donnell and Evan Hubert, the defenseman for CBC. DeSmet looking to clear. They do. Puck brought down. Kleinschmidt pinching back. I say Grant Kleinschmidt, got to be a little more specific.
Yep.
And Brendan O'Donnell with the forecheck. That's the energy we're talking about. Gives Grant Kleinschmidt a chance. Good job by DeSmet to regain in shape.
Yeah, the more pressure that CBC can put on DeSmet in their own zone and make them make mistakes and not be able to break out and therefore control that area of the ice, the better luck we're going to have as far as getting scoring chances.
Yeah, one of the things I'm liking from DeSmet right now is they're meeting these CBC players very high in the zone.
Yeah.
As soon as they cross over that blue line, they're getting pinched by 1 or 2 or maybe even 3 DeSmet players trying to win the puck back early, keep it away from Oliver's goal, and when they win it, they're springing on the transition really quick because they're starting high. They got a head start.
Yep.
If you're CBC, you have to be really disciplined in these defensive positions.
Yeah, and I think that CBC needs to take a lesson from that and really start standing up the DeSmet players coming into the zone at the blue line.
Shot comes in wide of Caruso. It'd be nice and say Caruso might have actually gotten a tip to that. You kind of hear a little bit of something when it passed him. It was not on goal anyway, though, and Caruso's going to jump on that. And we get some pleasantries explained in there.
Yeah, I don't know that the referee's going to let that go tonight.
No, we had a swing and a hack, a shove.
Yeah, he's going to take a couple players off for
going.
that. Yep. Well, the DeSmet player hit Jack Caruso's glove after he froze the puck.
So is anybody going into the penalty box? It looks like we got at least one here. It looks like number 2, Jack Estes, the junior forward, is going to be in the box. First power play of the night.
Yeah, and I think the DeSmet captain and coach want an explanation as to why there's not a CBC player in the box as well.
I think if I'm correct, Estes was the one going after Grant Kleinschmidt. I'm sorry, Van Kramer. The referee was right there, and he would not let him go for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So the call is what it is, and CBC has a great opportunity to get back into this game on the power play with 7:40 to go on the Cadet Colonel clock. Dumped into the zone. Oliver's going to cushion this one. He gave Eric Brown a pat on the head for his effort, too, as he went by. I'm not sure you want your goaltender being quite that...
not that nice.
Not that cheeky on a power play. Tony Andrews. Underneath, Mike DeSmet. Very good at exploiting spaces. Still DeSmet.
I like him being patient, looking for the open man.
Good block there. That was Reynolds with the block. He's been good so far for DeSmet. One of a host of players have been very solid for the Spartans so far early in this game.
The Cadets have numbers going forward now.
1 minute, 12 seconds to go in the power play. This is Van Kramer across the ice. Grant Kleinschmidt.
Good shot.
Saved by Oliver.
Good low shot by Kleinschmidt on that.
DeSmet's going to clear it as far as Caruso. Caruso's pass finds Eric Brown. Brown for Grant Kleinschmidt. Dumps it in. Killed by Oliver. Smet clears the zone only as far as Evan Hubert. Now here's Grant. Face first into the boards. That's why you wear a face mask. Max Brown in the action now.
Cadets got 2 guys in front of the net. They need to get a puck on net right now.
35 seconds to go. Kleinschmidt. He's got Brown in front. Brown has some space. Puck instead found, that was Kobe Weber who couldn't quite find the right touch on it. Across, shot from Max Brown, blocked. Probably hurt. The booth is willing to project that that one hurt. 14 seconds to go in the power play. Riley House with the puck. Will it be an excellent and vital penalty kill for DeSmet? Shot deflected wide. 3 seconds to go. Need to get a shot off here, otherwise it's a squandered power play. And they will not do it. We're back to even strength as Estes.
I still like the patience the Cadets showed trying to set something up and find the open man for a good shot.
If you contrast that with what we were saying in the first few minutes after the DeSmet goals, a lot more composure being shown by DeSmet now than would have been shown at that point.
Yeah, and DeSmet's playing a lot more physical than CBC is right now as well.
Shot. I think that was high. I don't think Caruso touched it. The shot came in from Steven Randazzo. Already has 1, was going for 2. As you see, we're about approaching 5 minutes on the Cadet Colonel clock. Want to thank Pat and Lorraine Flax for making that possible. We also want to thank East Bay, the official apparel provider of CBC Athletics. Be sure to check out our team stores and also check out eastbay.com for all kinds of merchandise. They keep our coaches and players looking great, and they want to help you look great too. Not that you need help, but every once in a while it's good to have some new gear, and East Bay will get you hooked up.
Good looking merchandise they have, that's for sure.
That they do.
Big crowd here tonight, sellout crowd.
It is a minor scheduling conflict with Nicolaisen can't put it away. Again, Oliver comes up big on the in the crease. I was about to say on the goal line, but I think that's a soccer thing. Just finishing the point, DeSmet showing up in good numbers despite their auction being tonight. So we hope a successful auction over there at DeSmet up the road from us. But nice to see a good crowd anyway. They do win the award for best attendance of waving inflatable tube men.
Whatever that guy is.
I believe they call it a wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man. That's what I'm going with.
All right.
Puck flipped from the glove of Caruso to the official, and he's going to get a face-off to Jack's right.
See if we can get a face-off win here and a good breakout and put some pressure on Oliver now. Apparently not.
The shot got blocked in front. Opportunity for Brown on the break. Good hands, good skill.
3-on-2.
Watch Grant Kleinschmidt back post. Oh, pass was for Deba instead. Kleinschmidt was the cutback. And that pass finds Van Kramer. Kramer for Kleinschmidt. Kleinschmidt, save Oliver.
What a great play. Good pass.
Excellent anticipation by Will Oliver to get across his goal.
Yeah, great pass from Kramer.
4.5 minutes to go here in this first period. No goals since the second goal for DeSmet was scored by Steven Randazzo. And now this is Kleinschmidt. He was trying to find Brown in front. Couldn't connect on the pass, though. Brown on the forecheck. Owen Benben, been quiet for the last 5 minutes or so, but he was immense early in this game. Fires near post. You're not going to beat Caruso there very
often. That's an easy save for Jack.
Inside of 4 to go.
CBC's actually out shooting DeSmet at this point, which is a good thing to see that they're really coming back strong after being down 2 goals.
I will say, though, not a whole lot of those are really, sort of highlight reel quality shots. A lot of those were just kind of poking in front of the crease. So
no, but as we saw last game, the more pucks you put on that, the better, it's going to wear him down.
Yep, he's 8 for 8 on saves. But you hope your luck runs out if you're CBC. Puck rebounded. Caruso makes the initial save. That was Estes. Caruso still on the ice. Shot comes in deflected in front of Jack Caruso. Frantic moments there. Unable to clear the zone. And Caruso's going to flip it up and into the netting.
Yeah, that first rebound he gave up, the puck was just sitting there waiting for a DeSmet player to come up and take a shot.
Defensively kind of shambolic there for CBC. Probably a relief that Crusoe was able to deflect the puck up, and you can get some fresh legs out there and kind of reset. That was not going anywhere good. It'll be Gagan going head-to-head with Cameron Osdiak. DeSmet wins initially. Ben Kleinschmidt trying to break out.
Well, that'll be icing.
Goes right by Hoppy Randazzo.
Well, they waved off icing. I'm surprised. I think a few DeSmet fans are a little upset too.
Will say that Oliver did not show a whole lot of conviction with the hand up. It looked like he put his hand up, then put it down. He was unsure, so the officials let him play. Get a puck up into the DeSmet bench. That'll give us a chance to tell you about TJ's Pizza and Fundraising. Not only are they the official pizza of the Cadet Student Network, you can get slices in the concession stand at CBC, but they're also a great fundraising option. They give you a simple process to help raise money for a school, team, or organization. Call them at TJ's Pizza, 314-869-9404, or visit them online at tjspizza.com. Kramer in behind. DeSmet looking to clear. Hit from Hoppy Randazzo. Kramer, nice job of winning the puck back.
Here's a chance for Ritter.
And Ritter can't quite put tape on it. It was a good poke check tracking back from Ben Lotus that put him off just enough. Otherwise, it was a wide open shot for Jack Ritter. You like his chances there. That was one of the uglier transitions you're going to see. I think DeSmet got caught in between making a line change and trying to make a go of it. And it just kind of came to a halt. Here's Ben though.
Now that puck's got to go deep. Now when we take possession of the puck in our own zone like that, we've got to get it deep into Smet's zone so we don't have to keep doing this.
Just about 2 minutes to go here in this first period. A period that's been very, very even since that 2-3 minute run where DeSmet was scoring goals. CBC has had the only power play of the game successfully killed, as the scoreboard indicates. It was a couple of minutes ago off a 2-minute minor from Jack Estes. Shot from Brown is wide. I think it got deflected coming off the stick. Never had the power you need. Brown in front. He was looking for Kleinschmidt. Kleinschmidt back for Brown. Brendan O'Donnell's going to back off and let DeSmet come out with this.
You know, a lot of the shots that CBC's been taking have been coming real low. I mean, right next to the goal, and they need to get somebody out in the high slot and get some good quality shots.
They've had a couple. The outside shots they've had have been really nicely closed down by DeSmet. I have to say the defensive anticipation from DeSmet's been very good. Not only from Oliver, you saw it in the slide over, the back post pass to Kleinschmidt, but also the ability to shut down the shooting lanes as soon as they open. DeSmet's done a nice job of that tonight.
Yeah, they sure have. Here comes a 2-on-1 for DeSmet.
Opportunity at the back post. Ooh, that puck is just ahead of Daniel Kinzel. Here is Kinzel. Deflection, that one's blocked by Andrews. Kinzel again diving head first. You love the commitment from DeSmet right now. That's off a helmet of Steven Randazzo. And we're going to get a face-off with 46 seconds to go. Again, CBC in the white, DeSmet in the maroon. But DeSmet currently in the lead, 2-0. What is at stake, you might ask, in case you're joining us late and weren't sure exactly what you were watching. This is the second game of a 2-game semifinal series between the two. CBC took the first last Saturday, and the winner, as a reward we'll call it, gets to go up against the Junior Billikens of St. Louis University High School for a chance to win the Challenge Cup. That will be at Scottrade Center, and that will be on Wednesday, March 13th at about 8 p.m. So CBC with a win or tie would advance to that game. DeSmet would need to win in regulation and then win a mini game that would be played. It would be a 10-minute period played in its entirety after the third period of this game, so basically a fourth period. So DeSmet has to win both of those in order for their season to continue. If CBC is able to pull out the draw or win, what a save by Oliver.
What a save. And good first shot and then a great save on the rebound.
And I think that right there from Oliver, there is such a subtle difference between just being in the right place and being big and putting yourself in the right place against all odds. Right there, Oliver did a wonderful job of closing the angle. that's kind of, I think for him, that's where his momentum goes from just, okay, I've been in the right place, it's been going well so far, to, okay, I'm starting to exert my authority on this game. So that's a huge confidence boost right at the end of the period as well.
Yeah, that's almost as good as scoring a goal right at the end of the period as having your goalie do something like that to keep one out for as far as momentum goes.
Well, and that's when you start to think DeSmet, phase one of the job is done. You've put CBC on their heels a little bit. You've made maybe planted some doubt. You made them start thinking about what could go wrong.
Yep.
And then you get a big save at the end to say, hey, maybe this is not a one-time deal. We're ready for the second period.
Yeah, and I think probably the CBC coaches are telling the guys right now they need to do a better job of standing up the DeSmet players coming into the zone, and they need to do a better job of breaking out and controlling the neutral zone.
And if you are DeSmet, if you are Coach Durso, what are you telling your young men?
Keep the pressure up. I mean, just keep it up, and DeSmet just needs to really keep getting more shots on goal. And, you can see him over there congratulating Will Oliver right now. They're going to ride him all the way through this game. So as he goes, the team goes, I think.
Does DeSmet have does anybody have the energy to keep up the pace that DeSmet has shown? The work rate, the commitment, the slides, the transitions. Can they keep this up for an entire game?
Well, I would hope so, considering what's at stake, a trip to Scottrade. I would sure think that their coaches are telling them, listen, guys, this is it. It's all the marbles tonight, so give it everything you got.
Well, what do you say we do another 15 minutes of this?
All right, how about that? And then we'll do the ice.
Then we will get a break to clear the ice. Go re-up on well-honeyed tea to get through the broadcast. It's a real thing, people.
It was a good first period, though. I'll tell you, after CBC did a good job of coming back after being down 2 goals and just, showing some promise there.
Opening faceoff actually won by DeSmet, but ended up with CBC and then back to DeSmet. Out of respect, they gave it back to him for winning the faceoff. What a lovely gesture.
Yes.
Tracking back Josh Abel for DeSmet. He's going to reset. Abel's pressed by Eric Brown. Got to say, a little bit lackluster forecheck there from Brown. He just kind of stood there as a matter of formality rather than really going after it.
Oh, almost.
Yeah. That's a mishit. Solid contact there. It's 3-0. The linesman just took one off the shin, too.
Yeah, CBC got lucky there that puck hit the linesman.
Brown dumps it in. CBC's going to change. Kleinschmidt and Kramer are able to make it off the ice. And now the rest of the forward line does as well. CBC now, Hubert and Harper at the back. This is Randazzo, Ritter, and Gagan up top, offsides.
Well, that was just barely offsides, too. We would have had a 2-on-1 break going in there. I think Jack Ritter was just barely offsides.
Yeah, he just kind of drifted a little bit, couldn't stop his momentum.
Yep.
So we're going to face off just outside the zone. We thank Mercy Sports Medicine. Done a wonderful job taking care of our student athletes, and they can take care of you as well. Top-ranked Catholic health system nationally. Visit them online at www.mercy.net. Ritter and Randazzo chasing Kenny Gibson around. The net took a good knock there. I think they're going to check it just to make sure. No, it did come off the moorings.
Yep, I didn't know why they blew that one dead. I guess it was because of the net came off.
Yeah, you heard a lot of post contact as a few people skated by it. So somebody skated into the net, and you're not supposed to do that.
Nope, can't do that.
Face off to Will Oliver's right. It is won by CBC. Shooting opportunity for Hubert if he can control it. He does not do so in time. There is so much space kind of in that mid-range zone for CBC. In front of the crease is congested. Up top is congested. This is Estes. Estes one-on-one. 5 holes, Caruso.
And he just flat out skated our player.
Evan Hubert could not match the pace of Jack Estes. And you got to say, 6'2", 170. Estes does a nice job not only using his feet to get there, but while he's at full tilt, he's also using his strength to hold Hubert off the puck. I mean, talk about commitment and drive. There it is right there. That's what it looks like.
And, it wasn't the greatest shot, but he went 5-hole on Caruso and found a gap there.
It's the changeup. I mean, Caruso was following the stick, but he lost the puck, and it just kind of I don't know what you want to call it, scuttled through.
Yeah, that's a big goal for DeSmet right there. CBC is going to really have to start dig deep here and apply some pressure.
All right, Tony Andrews trying to start things off for CBC. Fires behind, that's Riley Howes. Now Kobe Weber.
Just one goal at a time here. That's what you tell him as a coach. Just one goal at a time.
At this point, it almost starts with one good thing at a time. Let's hit one good pass. Let's make one good interception. Let's shut down one lane. Let's get one save. Let's get something. Because if you're CBC right now, everything's frantic. Nothing's really settled. And you just need a little bit of confidence and a little bit of comfort. Then we'll worry about the goals.
Yeah.
And we've seen, in the first period, we saw for long stretches, CBC's ability to get shots without trying too hard, just being themselves, creating opportunities. There were opportunities coming. It's just a matter of doing the right things to kind of put yourself in situations where the good hockey starts to come, and that's when the goals will come.
And I think, like you said, one good pass, one good breakout, and the goals will come. They will come.
You just need to kind of prove to yourself that you've got enough and you don't have to try to do anything extraordinary. That faceoff is won by DeSmet. Shot comes in. Good block there by Grant Kleinschmidt. Unlucky that it ricochets all the way back to Oliver. Oliver's pass cut off. Goal!
There we go.
There it is. Eric Brown. Eric Brown scores the goal, but that was all Grant Kleinschmidt.
Yeah, and that was a real lucky break for the Cadets there, but we'll take it. That's what we need, is just one little break, one at a time.
Well, they finally put Oliver in a position where he was uncomfortable, and it was just kind of a very poor decision by Oliver to just play that puck right down the middle. His hand was kind of forced as he waited a little bit too long to do something with it, and with the pressure of Grant Kleinschmidt, and got to say, good read by Eric Brown to know exactly where that puck was going to go given the pressure. He put himself in the right position. We talk about goalies doing it, but players can do it as well.
Absolutely.
You kind of ghost off one another to make sure the pressure is maximized. Eric Brown did a phenomenal job of that and a good, cool finish.
Well, CBC needs to feed off that now and really, really work hard at it.
Momentum going CBC's way. Good pass fired across by Eric Brown, who's looking for Deba, just a little bit ahead of him. Mike Deba's shot poked out by Steven Randazzo. Now here's Van Kramer. He can hit him. He's going to fire it across. Mike Deba thinks about the wrister. He's going to go for it. That one's knocked down. Might have actually hit Eric Brown somewhere. It hit a number 11. It was either Brown or Randazzo. Couldn't tell what color the 11 was. That puck is cleared by DeSmet. We get a line change for CBC.
Boy, DeSmet's unhappy about that call, that they called that icing. Referees are going to hear it from their coaches.
So that's an icing, and the one a couple minutes ago is not.
Right. That's what I think the coach is saying.
12 minutes, 7 seconds to go on the Cadet Colonel clock.
Shots on goal are all even at 12 apiece right now.
And what an interesting plot twist that it would be Oliver who makes the mistake after what we talked about at the very end of the first period, that huge save to kind of clinch things and get a big momentum boost at the end of the period. Just when you think something is certain in this game. Here's Estes, again showing the speed. That time Caruso is able to shovel it wide. Gagan can't control, though, as DeSmet knocks it back in for Ben Kleinschmidt. Ritter.
Can't give that puck up in our own zone like that.
Hoppy Randazzo. Ben Kleinschmidt, defenseman. That's the outside of the net. And Hoppy Randazzo connected with the head of Will Oliver.
Well, he got pushed into Will Oliver, but the other players didn't know that, and they took exception to it.
Anytime the goalie's head is involved. It looked like Oliver kind of flailed, but frankly, I think he was just trying to keep his mask on.
Yeah.
Both sets of fans in full voice going at each other. You gotta love it.
That's what it's all about, playoff hockey.
Can't exactly tell what they're saying to one another, but
I'm not sure we want to know what they're saying to one another.
DeSmet looking to clear. 11:15 to go here in the second period. 3-1. Goals by Estes and Randazzo. Estes has 2 of them for DeSmet. And the lone Cadet goal, thanks to their leading scorer, Eric Brown. I believe that is his 7th Challenge Cup playoff goal.
Yeah, he's played really well. He's stepped up as a leader.
You can kind of see why they gave him that C
Here
on
comes
his jersey.
Hunter Bulger.
Bulger, he's got the speed. He can't beat Oliver near post. Good hustle there by Estes at the other end to put some pressure on him. We talked about Estes' 6'2", 170 frame. Bulger is not 6'2", 170.
No, he's not, but he's got the speed.
But nice job by Jack Estes using his speed and using his power to kind of just put Bulger off enough. If he gets a clean shot, could be a different result there.
It looks like we're going to go back with the number 1 line here. Klein, Schmidt, Deba, and Brown.
Apologize if the Cadet Colonel clock occasionally gets obscured. That is actually my head pacing back and forth. I'm trying to stay out of the path of the Cadet Colonel clock camera. But I do apologize for that. I'll try to stand still.
Well, it's nerve-wracking up here in the booth.
It is. It is. You always talk about, when you're talking into a microphone, as that puck's cleared by Caruso, either the nerves are going to come out through your mouth or somewhere else. So you got to keep moving your feet. Figure if I can channel the nerves out the feet, then it doesn't come out into the microphone. So
Deba's helmet came off.
Nervousness came off in the form of his helmet.
Yeah, I think some of the DeSmet fans think he should be taken off the ice, but I think his helmet just came off.
CBC has a lot of guys on the ice right now.
Yeah, we're only allowed 5, though.
Yeah, they had 7 for a moment. They were trying to get Brown and Hubert on. Unsuccessfully. Saved by Caruso there, as Ben Kleinschmidt steps in between Thomas Kampmeinert.
Well, and the DeSmet player there came in and gave Jack Caruso a little spray of snow, and I think Eric Brown took exception to that and wanted to let him know.
That was Jacob Kausch, the 5'10", 150-pound sophomore.
Oh, no.
That is unlucky.
Right off the faceoff.
Right off the faceoff. Kleinschmidt tried to get in there and poke it away, but it looks like it was the captain. I believe that was number 88, Nick Thorpe, who's going to get credited with that one. Judging by the celebration with the DeSmet student section, I'm thinking Thorpe thinks it's his goal, which it looks like it is.
Well, it was a rebound right off the faceoff, and it was just a loose puck right in front of the net, and the DeSmet player was wide open.
But we talked about anticipation defensively for DeSmet. There's some offensive anticipation. Just a little quicker to react was Thorpe rather than Kleinschmidt, and that's why his stick got to the puck first. You got to say, horrible break off a bounce that Caruso could really do nothing about.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Very unlucky if you're CBC and frustrating. You're just starting to get back into the game, then you get a bad bounce, and there it is.
That's another momentum swing, big momentum swing there.
But a lot of hockey to play. 10 minutes and 12 seconds to go on the currently unobscured Cadet Colonel clock. We got a 4-1 game, 14 shots on goal apiece. Again, even if DeSmet wins in regulation, they would then have to play a 10-minute mini game. Following the completion of regulation, they would have to win that too. Not that you want to start going here if you're a CBC fan. Theoretically, you could lose the 3 periods. You could lose the actual game and then still advance to state on the mini game, as Randazzo's shot. Randazzo's held up.
Yeah, I'm surprised the referee didn't call that because I know he saw it.
Well, he got wrapped around the shoulders and chin by Kenny Gibson. And then he gets slashed by Kenny Gibson, as that puck is passed wide by Cameron Ozjek. Got to imagine if we saw it that plainly, somebody wearing stripes at least made note of it.
Yeah.
Puck behind. That's Van Kramer mixing it up with a couple of Spartans being led by Ben Lotus, and the chippiness really starting to show.
Yeah, I think DeSmet's really trying to establish dominance here and let CBC know that this is their game, and I think CBC needs to really fight back. Fight back on the scoreboard.
You have the feeling, though, if this continues or sort of picks up at all, we may get an official timeout, go over, talk to the coaches, just tell them let's cool it down. We don't want anybody getting hurt in a game like this. Let's let the hockey be the story as opposed to anything else.
Yeah, that's what we need.
I think one or two more incidents, I think we will see it. Again, you talked about experienced officials. They realize that these are teenage boys playing in one of the biggest games of their life to this point. So
sure,
the energy is going to be high. You just got to make sure it's not getting to a point where people are at risk. And right now, I think we're on the right side of the line, but there's been a couple edgy ones. Grabbing Hoppy high around the shoulders and head, that's where you start having problems.
Yeah, and I don't think they're going to let that go on, in front of the net with, spraying the goalie like they did to Caruso without calling that. I just, at some point, he's going to have to start calling that.
Face off to Caruso's left. 9 minutes remaining in this second period. Again, there will be a break after the second period as the ice will be cleared. Caruso makes the save. He saw it all the way.
Well, right now what's happening is CBC is just trying to chip the puck up the boards and get it out, and it's just not working. They need to establish a breakout.
Some pattern that works, like this. Kobe Weber. Nice job of backtracking by Jordan Reynolds.
Yeah, good defensive play there.
Correction, Justin Reynolds. Kobe Weber hit by Thorpe. Weber's pass in front, behind Deba. Here come DeSmet. It's the captain, Thorpe. He's already got one. Goal!
Oh. Wow.
What a goal!
Wow. And I think that's going to be it for Jack Caruso tonight.
And Yeager.
That was an unbelievable play right there.
Yeager is coming in. What a goal that was by Thorpe. The skill to get into that position and then diving.
Yeah, while he was diving to be able to hit that puck in was amazing.
You got to tip your cap to Thorpe. That's what you want your captain. Again, we talked about commitment, we talked about drive, we talked about energy. I mean, literally flying head first through the air to try to poke one in, and he does. So Ryan Yeager, the sophomore, now into the game for CBC. Very disappointed Jack Caruso over on the bench. Gets an encouraging pat from Nick Carasello. The old, it's not your fault.
Penalty coming up to CBC here. I think he's going to take Tony Andrews for roughing probably.
Yeah, Andrews was getting into it there with Brendan Kemp. Andrews pleading his case, but I believe unsuccessfully.
Yeah, he's not gonna get his way out of that one.
So it'll be a power play for DeSmet. Last thing you need right now if you are CBC. Although we talked about needing something good, a penalty kill counts. Well, get a good textbook penalty kill, deny the shots, shut down the lanes. You know, that could be a building point. Maybe Yeager gets a save,
and maybe even a shorthanded goal here would be a huge boost for CBC.
Start small, Dean.
Start small.
I do agree. That would be a nice boost if you're wearing purple and gold tonight. As they announce the goaltending change. Yeager is in right now. Again, Caruso obviously over on the bench. We've seen Caruso go to the bench before and then come back in the third period.
Yeah, he may not be done. I think there was just, coach just trying to change things up.
A shove from behind there by Hoppy Randazzo. It was Owen Benben on the puck at the time. Now Van Kramer dumps it in. DeSmet everywhere on the ice right now. Benben. Passing lane shut down by Ritter. Opportunity for Thorpe trying to get his hat trick. Benben lets fly. Opportunity for Randazzo. Good save by Yeager.
Yeah, way to come over and make that secondary save. He got the first save, and then the puck went right out to the DeSmet player who had a wide open net, but Yeager came over and covered the net pretty well. Yeah,
that was Steven Randazzo, who already has one goal, almost had his second. So with 7:14 to go.
1 minute left in the power play.
5-1. I'll be positive, Dean. It's 59 seconds left.
59 seconds, yes.
We've killed over half of this power play. That one's going to be cleared long. Oliver is going to settle it. Oliver haven't even said his name since that first CBC goal. That's how dominant DeSmet has been. And CBC just kind of getting caught in between. Drake Nicolaisen forechecking. Not a whole lot of help. Coming the other way. This is...
Should have been offsides.
Yeah, that was James Willie. And that will be a face-off outside the zone.
Well, like you said, just one thing at a time here.
Cadet fans, do you know a grade school student who might be a future cadet? Please encourage him to pay us a visit and experience CBC for himself. You can find our admissions team online at cbchs.org/experiencecbc. Every 8th grader should schedule his official visit to CBC today. Spend a day with us and experience what CBC is all about.
And a shout out to our admissions team. This morning was the placement test for the 8th graders. You were there, I know.
Yep, this morning and this afternoon. And a full house, both shifts. This is Deba.
Back to full strength now.
It is. Penalty successfully killed. Save from Yeager. So you get a couple positives there.
Sure.
And a good hit. Now you just need to kind of keep it up, though. Need to get a little bit of time on the puck. Another good save by Yeager. Again, let's start with clearing the zone. We'll start small.
Yep, and be sure that DeSmet's going to put as many shots as they can on goal with a cold goalie in there.
Well, and you got to give credit to DeSmet. They are first to most of the pucks here. Andrews, no penalty.
Oh, nice
Good save by Oliver. Andrews right at his... That's unnecessary. Andrews just stops himself against the goalie. I think he actually patted him on the shoulder, and he is just mauled there by number 19. That was Josh Abel.
And DeSmet wants to know why he's not why Tony Andrews didn't get a penalty, but I think, like you said, he was just stopping himself.
Oliver didn't even react.
No.
It was Abel who was the one who reacted. So, no penalties given. Andrews gets a pat of reassurance from Jack Caruso when he gets over to the bench. That was goalie endorsed. Here's Bolger. Van Kramer. Good
Rebound.
wrister save.
Oh.
House couldn't elevate it over the pad and glove of Oliver, who did a nice job reacting to the rebound, got to say. Kramer dumps it in behind. DeSmet trying to clear. Kramer can't get there.
Good read by Kobe Weber there.
It was. Kobe Weber reacted quicker than anybody else on the ice. Kramer had a chance to react. Max Brown had a chance to react. Both the defensemen
penalty coming up to
come in.
DeSmet.
Penalty for just to finish the point.
They're going to get it. I'm sorry.
Max Brown and Van Kramer at the top of the zone. Both had chances to pitch in for that puck. It was Bolger all the way at the other end coming back who actually got there. So got to give credit to Hunter Bolger.
Yeah,
Sorry.
absolutely. They got a...
Inside of 5 minutes to go here in this second period.
Yeah, CBC will go on the power play here. They got one of the DeSmet players for slashing, I believe.
Can't see the number, but you might see me in the Cadet Colonel clock camera trying to see the number. Grant Alheim, number 85 for slashing, will be the call. So a minute and 40 seconds of a man advantage for CBC. Van Kramer, will we see the patience we saw in the first power play of the game?
Well, I know they're going to want to get a lot more shots than they got on the first power play, that's for sure.
Brown is dispossessed and the zone is cleared. 4 minutes, 20 seconds in the period. 1 minute, 26 seconds in the power play. Here's Van Kramer. Kramer fighting through. Still Van Kramer. Across for Brown, who can't fire the shot. Deba can't fire the shot. Kramer again. And he's locked in battle over there with number 23. Looks like
there's
Daniel
a goal.
Kinzel, goal. Van Kramer with the goal. And you know, Dean, I was just about to say, we're starting to see Kramer grow in stature as this game goes on. It reminds me of another CBC defenseman that would come up and take over games when you needed. Who am I thinking of? Krogan.
Yeah, Drew Krogan.
Drew Krogan, as a defenseman, skating up in big games when you needed something good, he would single-handedly take over a game. What we just saw in the last minute or so, maybe minute and a half, was Van Kramer stepping up and taking over this game.
And he's got one of the hardest shots on the team, too.
He's done it with the check. He's been firing shots. He's been regaining pucks. So Van Kramer starting to take CBC on his shoulders. Gagan, can he respond?
Oh,
what
nice
a save by Oliver.
Wow. Gagan made a great move and came through. And what a save by Will Oliver there. Great play by Joey Gagan to get past the defense.
Boy, if his saves in the first period were just sort of lackluster and ugly, you can't get his a polar opposite like that. I mean, what a save. Sprawling. And that's huge. That could potentially slam the door in a little momentum run of CBC.
Yep.
Showing him, okay, he made the one mistake, but he's right back in this.
Well, we need to win this faceoff here and get a good shot, another couple shots on him.
It's Gagan who's charged with doing that. He's got Hubert and O'Donnell up top waiting for it. O'Donnell lets rip. And O'Donnell does a nice job of pinching in to get it. Hubert backing up. Jack Ritter chasing. Makes its way across for Gagan. Shot by O'Donnell is blocked.
Uh-oh.
Hubert
better get there.
He does get there just ahead of Thorpe. He'll tell you he had that completely under control.
Yeah, absolutely. Never had a doubt, did he?
Smet does keep it in the zone initially, but palmed down by Gagan. That pass just ahead of, that was Weber. Still bouncing around. Randazzo can't put it in. Kobe Weber pinching in. He takes out a Spartan, but he can't get the puck. Now it's Van Kramer versus Owen Benben. Van Kramer wins the battle. And the rebound. Steven Randazzo, though, with a shot. Kramer with the block. Yeager with one save. Yeager with two saves.
Wow, great play by Ryan Yeager.
Kramer took that shot under a pad, though, so.
Yeah, he's hurt.
He is. That's worrying if you're CBC. He's going to make his way off the ice. But again, Van Kramer getting the job done. That's the leadership you want to see that we were talking about a moment ago.
Just over 2 minutes left in the period here. I'd love to see another goal from CBC.
And they're going to get an offsides here. 2 minutes to go here in this first period. The Cadet Student Network is proud to tell you about a new clothing brand that will keep you looking sharp while also supporting worthy causes. Represent is a new label started by CSN alum Bryson Schroeder. Your monthly subscription of just $15 will bring new graphic tees to your door every month. So you want to check them out at representmonthly.com. Representmonthly.com. It's clothing with a cause.
Yeah, DeSmet was able to just break out there like we weren't even playing against them.
Shooting opportunity
Here comes
there.
a break for CBC. 2-on-1, 3-on-1.
Brown. Diba. Brown. Goal.
Hit the side of the net.
No.
Side of the net.
Outside of the net.
Wow. Good passing play. I think Diba was just too close to take that shot.
It was up and over the leg pad of Oliver, but just a little bit too wide. That was not far off, but there's a good wake-up call for Will Oliver. He's been alert the last few minutes after a very comfortable start to this second period. 1:30 to go in said period. We have a 3-goal game, 5-2 in favor of DeSmet. Puck across. Who else? Van Kramer coming up.
Back in the game.
Wins possession. Puts on a hit. He's doing everything. Max Brown dumps it in. And Kramer's regrouping. Good to see him back out so quickly. he did not miss a shift after taking a shot under a pad.
He wasn't going to either. This game's too important.
I have to say, you need to keep seeing the intensity you're seeing from him. It has been infectious. Since he started really getting after it maybe about 3 to 4 minutes ago, I'd have to go back and do the math. But the pace for CBC has picked up, and it's all started with him. He's been the trigger for the energy for CBC.
Well, if we can play this last minute of the game, of the period, in DeSmet zone here and make something happen, that'd be a real boost going into the third period.
Yep, inside of a minute on the Cadet Colonel clock here in the second period. That puck just wide. Ritter. He's got options in front. Randazzo just past Gagan. And here is Hubert backtracking for it. He hits Ritter. Ritter finds Randazzo.
4-on-2 right now.
Randazzo and Gagan ran into each other.
CBC had a 4-on-2 going that way.
Yeah, and this is not a guy you want going the other way, Justin Reynolds. He's got Ben in the middle. Couldn't find him, though. Gagan's going to leave it for Hubert. Hubert doesn't have a whole lot on the outlet. I think he found an official. And it tips the rafters. I'm not sure everybody was convinced of the tip.
Yeah.
It was more impressive to see if it was going to make it all the way through there without tipping anything. And just like that,
face-off should go out to center ice, I believe.
Fans, would you like to save a few bucks? Of course you would. That's why I need to call State Farm agent and CBC Hall of Famer Tim Kylo. Give him a call. Let him help you save money just like he did for Patrick Walsh, CBC Communications Director. Saved more than $1,000 on his insurance. Give him a call, 314-842-4442, or send him an email, tim@timkylo, that's KILO.com. And that's going to do it for the second period here at the Recplex out in St. Peter's. Caught myself. We're going to take a quick break here on the Cadet Student Network as they clear the ice. Don't go anywhere, though. This is a great game, and it is not going to be over anytime soon. You're watching the Cadet Student Network. Welcome back to the Tim Kylo broadcast booth, everybody. You are watching state semifinal hockey on the Cadet Student Network. My name is Tom Eichwald, and alongside me, the Dean of Students at CBC, Jeff Meyer. Well, this is it.
This is it. Cadets need to really step it up here. They need to score at least 3 goals this period, and I think they know that. I think DeSmet knows what they have to do, and that's maintain the intensity. Now,
can you give us sort of the Cliff Notes dime version of what we've seen so far in the first 2 periods?
Well, to be honest with you, it was after DeSmet scored the first 2 goals of the game, it actually evened out a little bit. And I think CBC, was playing an even game with them. And then DeSmet got a little more physical and scored a couple more goals. And I think it just deflated the sails of the CBC Cadets.
But if you take out those 2 goals, the rest of the game, it's a 3-2 game DeSmet right now. So that is the balance. And we were talking a little bit in the intermission, that one of the big moments of the game, of course, Caruso being sacrificed for Ryan Yeager, who did a nice job, actually.
Absolutely.
But we were wondering, do you leave Yeager in? Things seem to be going well. Well, who's the first guy back on the ice for the Cadets at the start of the 3rd period?
Jack Caruso.
He's been there before. He went through some struggles last year in the playoff run as well. Leading up to that state final game, he was actually fairly shaky in the opening games of the playoff season, but we all know what a performance he turned in that state game against SLU.
Sure, and he'll bounce back. I mean, Jack's a warrior. He's a fighter, and he'll bounce back from that. And hopefully he'll be solid this period, and the Cadets can put some pressure on DeSmet and get a few goals here.
And this is going to be one of those periods you just have to feel it's going to come down to desire. It's going to come down to who wants this more. For CBC, this generation of players has never lost a state final game. The class ahead of them has never lost a state final game. So these guys do not know what it's like not to make it to a state final, nor do they know what it's like not to win state. So is that desire there? Are we going to see that? Whereas DeSmet, they've been out of it for too long. The conversation these last few years has been CBC SLU, CBC SLU, CBC SLU. They want back in. They are hungry tonight. So will the Cadets be able to mount a charge here in this 3rd period? We shall find out. CBC in the white. They're going right to left across the screen. Smet in the maroon. They're going left to right for this 3rd period. Now, just to clarify exactly where things stand, as Kramer can't bring that down. Pass in front doesn't find its way to Brown.
That'll be icing.
It will be. If CBC comes back and either ties or wins this game, the series is over. Cadets go to state. If DeSmet wins, they hold on in this 3rd period, they win, then it's all even, and everything will be decided on a 10-minute mini game, which is essentially an overtime where you play the whole period. It's not sudden death. If that game ends tied after DeSmet wins the game in regulation, then it would go to a penalty shootout. You certainly don't want to see it come to that.
No.
Although,
hate to have it decided by a shootout.
Although the last time the state semifinal was decided in a shootout between CBC and DeSmet, it did work out for CBC. We're actually talking at lunch the other day. One of the iconic moments in recent CBC hockey history, as Van Kramer fires it, was Ryan Krogan. We talked about him as a freshman, wanting to step up and scoring one of the decisive penalties in that one. And Caruso is able to pounce on that under pressure from Thorpe. And Thorpe, for good measure, gives a piece of his mind to Max Brown. We're going to face off right in front of Caruso to his right-hand side. 3rd period, shots on goal perfectly even, 20-20. Again, very even game, but for those first 2 goals. Unfortunately, you can't take them off the scoreboard because it's been even since. Wouldn't that be nice?
It looks like we got Tony Andrews, Riley House, and Kobe Weber out there on the forward line.
Good pressure from Weber.
Boy, CBC just has to clear the zone.
Yeah, it wasn't a very decisive attempt to clear. As Riley House plays it backward, now Van Kramer. He had a great 2nd period. Sort of the second half of the 2nd period was all Van Kramer for CBC. Because that one's off the ankle of Brown. Looked like it hurt. See him put some extra weight on that stick right afterwards, so you know it got him where it's not padded. Caruso makes an initial save. That one's going to be dumped out. Cleared that time by Tony Andrews. Didn't make it all the way out. Opportunity for DeSmet. Shot for Reynolds. Easy glove save for Caruso, but way too much space for Reynolds to hit that shot.
They can't leave guys unattended like that in front of our own net. That's what cost us the first 2 goals.
I was just about to say that's what led to the first 2 goals. They've done a nice job of getting in the face of DeSmet shooters since then, but you really can't afford to go back to leaving those sorts of opportunities out there. Too important a game for that. Loose puck. That's in for Caruso, who's going to cover it. Another face-off. Not quite the free-flowing start to this period we had for much of the first 2.
No. And, again, CBC just has to get that breakout pass and get out of our own zone. And once we get through the neutral zone and into DeSmet's area, they can set things up.
Here's Ben Kleinschmidt. Finds Gagan. Gagan can't control, though. Oliver leaves it behind. Good pressure there from CBC, but not able to come away with the puck. Caruso's going to take the icing here, and we get another face-off. Not really finding any rhythm. I have to say the crowd on the DeSmet side is growing. They're also winning the best-dressed fan section coming from the auction tonight.
From the auction, that's right.
It's a sharp-looking crowd over here. What a student section CBC has, though. Absolutely packed, overflowing. I'm hoping the Landgraf community has some guys in there. Love to see some of my juniors over there. It'd be nice for us in the Cadet Cup playoffs. Get a good attendance here. Crucial event. Thorpe goes down, no penalty. Linesman was right there. Judges that Eric Brown did nothing wrong. Dumped in by DeSmet. Evan Hubert back first to the puck. Here's Deba.
Good job getting it forward to Kleinschmidt.
This is Grant Kleinschmidt. Grant, the senior, his brother Ben, only a freshman, becoming a CBC hockey family. Hubert doing a nice job keeping it in the zone. Puck breaks for, that
nice
was Kleinschmidt again, just over the bar. More good opportunities for the Cadets. Hubert again trying to keep it in the zone, cannot.
Should be icing. No ice, they waved it off. CBC coaching staff's not real pleased with that call.
No, that's been one apiece for CBC and DeSmet on those icing, no calls. Here's Kobe Weber. He's got House and Andrews alongside. Weber gets tangled up a little bit there with Kenny Gibson. And something going on behind the DeSmet student section. Puck jumps out just under Andrews' stick. Andrews is going to get a shot off. He does. Oliver does a really nice job of holding the rebound as Riley Howes is right there ready to pounce.
Yeah, those DeSmet players for some reason have targeting Tony Andrews. They just do not like him. They are all over him.
11.5 minutes to go on the Cadet Colonel clock. Shots on goal now in DeSmet's favor, 23-22. A stat really too even to comment further on.
Yeah.
This is Andrews on the face-off. Still Andrews, Weber, and Howes, that forward line. Kramer and Max Brown, the 2 defensemen for CBC. This is Van Kramer. He's dispossessed. That puck goes all the way to Caruso, who's going to touch it into the corner. And Max Brown's going to clear the zone, just barely. Not a whole lot of zip on the puck coming out of the zone. This is Riley. Off the crossbar. What a good look for Riley Howes. He wishes he had that one back. Just nailed the crossbar.
He showed some speed coming out of our own zone, too, and then he hit the crossbar off the goalie.
Here's Andrews. Van Kramer. That puck's still loose in front. Kobe Weber can't get there in time. Oliver, again, the first to react to that one.
And again, they're going after Tony Andrews.
Somebody also going after Kobe Weber. Gotta love it. Welcome to high school hockey. You're a freshman.
Yeah.
Although Kobe Weber can handle himself out there. Good size to him, even as a young man.
Boy, the Cadets got a lucky bounce in the neutral zone where Riley House was able to pick up that puck and head in, and then he got a great shot off. It went off of Oliver's shoulder, I think, and then hit the crossbar.
And then on the second one, great reaction from Oliver to pounce on the loose puck. Nobody saw it. The puck deflected up off the shot from Kramer.
Yeah, nobody knew where it was.
He was the only one who knew where it was. Had to come out almost underneath people to get on top of it, and he did so. Wrister
tipped
from
in.
Ben Kleinschmidt.
That was a good tip in front by Hoppy Randazzo.
It was, and a good read by Oliver. Really, apart from the one mistake tonight, Oliver's been excellent.
Yeah, he's played a great game.
Face off to his left. Linesman making sure everything's set before he drops it. Around behind, that's Randazzo. And Ritter couldn't get the shot off. DeSmet trying to clear. They do, stays in. Dangerous moment here. Opportunity for DeSmet. Good block there by Ben Kleinschmidt. That was Cameron Osdiak knocking on the door. And now Randazzo.
Feed him.
Up front for Ritter. Puck just a little bit too far ahead of him. And DeSmet's able to clear. This is a bit more what we saw in the first couple of periods.
Yeah, it's opened up a little bit here in this period.
And everybody would have been offside, so they're going to go for a line change anyway. O'Donnell and Hubert, the defensemen for the Cadets. Kleinschmidt, Deba, and Brown, the first line in up top. Eric Brown flicks it out. Good pressure from Deba. Got to say, nice composure from Kenny Gibson to bring that one down. Puck tipped in by Grant Kleinschmidt. Does he have a line on this puck? Is he going to get there first? He is.
Yep.
And backing up is Deba.
Got to get a shot.
Brendan O'Donnell with the shot. That one's tipped in front. I think it was off the back of Kenny Gibson's stick. This is Thorpe. He's got two. Over the bar. That's a let-off for CBC.
Boy, that was a great pass to him coming out of the zone, too. Another good stretch pass. That's the third time they've gotten behind our defense.
Just a huge let-off for CBC, though, because that had goal written all over it, especially with the finishing ability we've seen from him, both when he's on his feet and when he's in midair.
Yeah, DeSmet has gotten behind our defense. I think that's the third time where they've been able to get a stretch pass from their own zone and hit their forward at our blue line.
Face-off going to be to Caruso's right. 8:54 to go in this third period. Cadets trying to clear. A little bit of a miss hit there from Max Brown. Is that going to be a costly one? Thanks to Tony Andrews, it is not. Here is Andrews. Andrews in front. Glove saved by Oliver. Boy, that's an impressive high glove. I thought that was up and over the shoulder, but Oliver got his glove up there.
Yep, good play by Tony Andrews to get around the defenseman, too.
It does help when you're 6'3".
Yeah.
Will Oliver is not a small man. Put him on skates, that's a couple more inches. It is pretty hard to get it up and over that shoulder and under the crossbar. Oh, that one's
deflected.
Wide. I'd say Caruso, normally one of the best glove goaltenders in the area. He's got one of the best glove hands you'll see. Oliver's won the glove battle tonight. It's a small victory for Will.
Sure. Boy, DeSmet's putting two people on the puck on the forecheck. Relentless.
Yeah, and just a little bit slower than you like for CBC. Some of that energy they had at the end of the second period is dissipated. As that one's dumped in, Max Brown around behind. Trying to find Riley Howes on the clearance. Howes can't control. Still DeSmet, dangerous opportunity. CBC can't regain. Puck in front.
Oh,
good save by Caruso. He must have heard my glove comment.
Yep.
And that's Dan Kinzel getting robbed by a sliding Jack Caruso. That's why he's back in the game, folks.
Yep, and that was a great pass from the forward over to the shooter for DeSmet, but Caruso read it all the way.
Yeah, great opportunity for DeSmet. So some really good chances for both teams here in this third period, but still no goal. The Cadets will be a little bit more frustrated by the lack of a goal than the Spartans will. DeSmet really just needs to hang on right now. Can't keep the zone, so this is Gagan off the board. Will Oliver out to play it around. Hoppy Randazzo gets there first. There's the intensity. Shot wide by Ritter.
Great centering pass.
But that's the intensity.
That's what we
CBC
need.
actually being the first to a loose puck. DeSmet has been first to, I don't know the stats, but I got to say, if you're talking 50-50 pucks, DeSmet's got the advantage tonight easily.
Yeah.
For CBC, you need to start winning those. I'll talk to one of our managers on Monday, see if he's got the number for me. Gagan leaves it behind. CBC some tired legs out there.
Yep, with just under 7 minutes left in the period here, they really need to step it up.
Okay, this is Blake Harper, another young man for the Cadets. Blake Harper, just a freshman.
Numbers for CBC if they can hurry.
Ritter in for Gagan. Gagan can't round his man. Good touch by Oliver to get it out. Now Grant Kleinschmidt. Gagan, what a long shift that was.
Yeah, he's ready for a change.
Puck cleared by DeSmet. Caruso's going to take the icing on this, and they give it to him. 6:20 to go. That's a bit more of the pace we were expecting. While we have a second, we want to remind you that CSN is about more than just athletics. Our theater department's performance of A Christmas Story is now available, and this weekend's performance of Anything Goes will be available as well. So maybe you're watching it at CBC right now. You can watch it. Tell all your friends, tell all your family to watch it later on demand on CSN as well. Remember, we also cover academic events, school masses, other school activities too. You can watch it all right here at www.cbccsn.com. Coming the other way, Ben gets tripped up a little bit by Hubert. And this is Evan Hubert. Building out of the back. Eric Brown. Good pass there. Finds the stick of Grant Kleinschmidt. Excellent blind poke by Justin Reynolds to get that one off the stick of Grant Kleinschmidt. And we get a tangle here.
Apparently the DeSmet parents think there should have been a call on that.
The referees disagree, and we get a face-off. Where are they going to have this one? I guess the face-off's going to be to the left-hand side of Will Oliver's goal. 5:46 to go. CBC needing 3 goals in 5 minutes and 46 seconds to clinch their date with SLU on March 13th. That's Wednesday, March 13th. Challenge Cup final game. CBC has not missed that game in this millennium. A lot of pride on the line for these cadets.
And a lot of pressure too.
There is. And this was always, going to be a season where, the cadets haven't had the depth that they've had in years past. They haven't been able to trot out a third and fourth line that's better than anybody else's second line. So it was always going to be a challenge to get back to the game. You figured maybe they figure some things out with the performance last Saturday. You figure they kind of had things back on track. And here we go.
Yep.
All of a sudden, it's all to play for. Here's Andrews. Weber finds House. Good pressure by Ben Kleinschmidt. He's going to dump it in. They'll finish the changes they started. Drake Nicolaisen was already out. And this puck bouncing around here down low left from our perspective. Hoppy Randazzo held up. This is Thorpe for DeSmet. Nicolaisen. Randazzo again, that time putting a hit on Gibson.
Good play by Kramer there to step up and block that pass. Offsides. Good call.
His offsides. Danny Kinzel picked up the puck, but it looks like that was number 15, Ben Lotus, who was in an offside position when he got it. Now 4 minutes remaining in this one on the Cadet Colonel clock. CBC is proud to announce that East Bay is now the official apparel provider of Cadet Athletics. East Bay and Under Armour keep our players and coaches looking good on the field, and they can make you look good too. Keep your eye out for our CBC online team stores or shop anytime at www.eastbay.com. The Smet fans hoping they can hang on. Again, just a loss in this regulation is not necessarily fatal to CBC. It would then all come down to a 10-minute minigame, which would really be a toss-up based on the way this game's been played in the last 2 periods.
Yeah, it'd be an even game, and I'd hate to see it come down to a shootout even after that.
Here's Gagan in front.
Nice centering pass.
Howes. Hubert just begging for a deflection, but Ritter couldn't get his stick down. It was being held up. Here come DeSmet. Very silky in transition tonight, the Spartans have been. I don't think the words silky and Spartans have been used in combination in centuries.
Here comes Nikolaisen.
Puck cleared by DeSmet. 3 minutes and 3 seconds to go. 3 goals needed. CBC back on top in the shots category by a whole shot. And Caruso has been excellent since coming back in. But the Cadets have not quite had the finishing touches needed. They have had some chances. We had a crossbar shortly after the start of the period for the Cadets, as that one's dumped in by Harper. Good outlet. Great transition. This is Ozdiak. Save made by Caruso.
Yeah, that transition game like that's what CBC hasn't been able to establish so far tonight. And DeSmet's really been able to break out of their own zone and get that transition through the neutral zone a lot better and a lot quicker than CBC.
And again, they're keeping so many numbers high at the blue line that whenever they win the puck, it seems like they got 3-4 guys ready to break.
Yeah.
And if you're CBC, they've had a really hard time getting in past that first layer. And when they have, DeSmet does a nice job of collapsing. All right, inside of 3 minutes. Now 2 minutes and 45 seconds. And I want to thank Pat and Lorraine Flax for the Cadet Colonel clock. Hoppy Randazzo. He's not thinking about a clock. He's thinking about getting a goal, getting CBC back into this game. But again, the transition, 3 guys high for DeSmet. CBC back in numbers, though. Hoppy Randazzo. He's got help in the form of Blake Harper alongside of him. Randazzo's pass is blocked. Dumps it in the middle. Drake Nikolaisen getting in on it. That puck is played in, and we get it off sides.
Well, with 2 minutes left,
it would take quite a bit.
And you're thinking right now, if you're the coach, you're thinking about the mini game and what you're going to tell your players and what they're going to need to do when the scoreboard says 0-0 and how to come out and make sure that it comes up in your favor.
This is a situation none of these guys has really been in, that mini game situation. Again, if memory serves, that last game, the last mini game CBC was in, I think was that game against Smet that ended up going to penalties. It's the last one I remember.
Which was,
and that was 7 years ago, I believe.
Say 5 years, so it's been at least that long.
It's 6 or 7 years ago, I think that. We were talking about that at lunch. That was the best we could date it, sitting at lunch eating buffalo chicken sandwiches. CBC loses the zone. Minute 45 to go. And the mini game not looking so mini at this point.
It looms large, as they say.
It does.
But again, the scoreboard will say 0-0, so.
Honestly, I think that would almost be the best thing for CBC. Just make it to the mini game, because you finally get a start. You've been digging out from those 2 early goals the entire game.
Yeah.
They were so early, just like the 2 that CBC scored against DeSmet. They never got the chance to really dig out. If you're CBC, you say, okay, we said you can't wipe those 2 goals off the scoreboard because it's been an even game since. Well in a sense, that's what mini game is.
Yep.
So shot saved by Oliver, never really in question. I'd be very interested to see how CBC starts that mini game and how DeSmet starts that mini game. I think DeSmet I don't know that they have much more energy than they've put into this. I think CBC certainly has a lot of energy in reserve. We'll put it nicely. There's been some kind of stagnant portions of this game for CBC. DeSmet's been go, go, go the entire night. So
yeah,
is that going to hold up?
They're going to have to keep up that intensity for, 10 more minutes of a do-or-die game.
And that was Kobe Weber with the shot that gets deflected up and above. Deflected by number 21, Brendan Kemp. The junior deflecting the shot from the freshman. And the two carrying on a nice conversation out there. Minute 20. We are at the Recplex. Also, the first year these state semifinals have not been held at Hardy's Iceplex, or at the former Hardy's Iceplex. So the first year in a long time that the semifinals are being played on the same size rink as every other game you play during the season. Minute 5 to go here in the period. CBC in the DeSmet zone. You got to figure not a whole lot of likelihood of scoring 3 goals in under a minute against a disciplined DeSmet team. Caruso's going to kill it. He flicks it out. Now for the mini game, there will not be a clearing of the ice, so we'll go straight through.
Correct.
There will not be a changing of benches. There will not be a changing of ends. They won't go back to the locker rooms. They get a 2-minute break. So you'll see the teams go over to the benches, get a little water, talk strategy, and then we'll get right back to the hockey. 26 seconds to go before all that happens, though. The Smet fans are on their feet. CBC fans in disbelief.
Well, I'll tell you, the CBC fans are going to have to get behind this team and let them know they're here and support them. It's, it's going to be do or die. They're going to have everybody behind them and supporting them.
Well, we said that the third period was all going to come down to desire. So far, that's canceled out. So really, you have to say that the mini game is going to be where you see the desire.
Yeah,
I mean, somebody's going to have to win this thing. It's one of those where you hope it's just because somebody does something special and it's not because of a mistake by anybody or one of those types of things, especially your seniors out there. DeSmet flipping it out. 10 seconds to go. And as the clock winds down, they're going to give us a face-off for a high stick with 2 minutes and 6 seconds to go. So what are you telling your team during the quick break if you are a coach for DeSmet or CBC going into this mini game? Let's start with CBC.
Well, I think they have to tell these guys that it's a new game. It's not, 2-0 now or 3-0. And they have to show the heart that requires to get to Scottrade. With the end of the period there. Final score 5-2, so we'll go to the mini game. Shots on goal 26-26.
So we talked about CBC's coaching staff. What is Coach Durso and his staff telling their guys heading into this game?
Well, I think you first tell them how proud you are of them, that they played a great game, and that they're going to really have to battle hard now because CBC is going to come out real hard here, and they're going to have to keep up that intensity that they've had for the last 45 minutes of hockey.
Starting to see the energy from the CBC fans we were talking about needing. So as they get going with a minute and a half to go, we do want to thank a number of our sponsors who are making this broadcast possible. Got to thank Tim Kylo, CBC alum, Hall of Famer, also the best State Farm insurance agent in town. Definitely want to give Tim a call if you want to save some money on your insurance, 842-4442. That is area code 314 in case you're wondering. You can also reach out to by email, tim@timkylo, that's KILO.com. Would encourage you to check out East Bay. East Bay and Under Armour, the official athletic gear providers for CBC. You check out our fan stores linked to our website. You will also want to check out eastbay.com. Mercy Sports Healthcare takes wonderful care of our student athletes. Kristen Jeans, our athletic trainer, and the team at Mercy take great care of them at mercy.net. Also want to thank a new sponsor. It is Represent Monthly, a clothing provider. They'll send you a graphic tee every month that is CSN alum, CBC and CSN alum, Bryson Schroeder doing that, $15 a month. And it all goes to partner with charities like Toys for Tots, Gold Star Families, the Boys and Girls Club for America, American Heart Association. So proud of Bryson and all the work he's doing there with Represent Monthly. You can check him out online, representmonthly.com.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. The first goal is going to be the most important. Next goal is the most important goal of the night. Whoever scores first has got a huge advantage in this minigame.
And if you are CBC, you're seeing exactly what you hoped for. That scoreboard is back to 0-0. Again, if you take the 2 goals, the 2 early goals away, that was a 3-2 game by DeSmet with at least 1 post hit by CBC and a phenomenal save. So it's been even in the last 2 periods. It will be even, we would expect, in the minigame. This is what you play for. The winner of this minigame, the winner of the next 10 minutes, will be a Challenge Cup finalist.
Yeah, we really need the CBC fans to get up and get into this game and support this team.
The commentators are up and into it. And what do you do with the play-by-play announcer with laryngitis? You give him a screaming crowd in a minigame.
So you can scream over them.
Brown, Kleinschmidt, Deba up front for the Cadets. Kramer and Max Brown at the back. Thorpe, Ben, and that is Reynolds for DeSmet. Correction, that's Randazzo. Reynolds and Abel are your defensemen. Oliver and Caruso are the 2 goaltenders. Shot comes in, deflected off the skate of Van Kramer. Again, the entire 10-minute period will be played. There is no sudden death. First goal is vital, but it's not fatal. So we play the entire 10 minutes. There's no breaks, just hockey. Eric Brown wins it in neutral zone. He's going to fire it in. CBC's going to make a change as Oliver passes it down, we'll say. Good outlet pass. This is Mullen. He's going to fire wide. I would expect to see the shots come in great volume and number in this period. So far, DeSmet has been firing away. You might as well take a few. CBC's gotten a few plugs in. And now Ritter. Looking for Randazzo. Hoppy Randazzo. Tangled up with Gibson. Puck in front. Gagan can't get it. Cleared all the way as far as Kramer. It's not going to quite go to Caruso. CBC caught in a line change. Kramer has to do it himself. But he finds Randazzo.
He wants the puck back. He wants to get a shot.
That's the leadership we were talking about. You need to see it. The Smet players on the ice. Coming forward, though, is Ben Opik. Tony Andrews.
That'll be icing against CBC.
Boy, I got to say, if you're a referee trying to blow a whistle in here, I don't think anybody's going to hear it. You better be clear.
Reminiscent of Afton when the Afton's crowded.
What a great crowd tonight.
Yeah, a lot of fun. All the kids are having a good time.
So 1 minute and 55 seconds into this minigame. We are still scoreless, 0-0. We can finally stop saying 5-2. Shots on goal 1 in favor of CBC. It was not a very dangerous effort. It was kind of a dump in that happened to be on goals. So really no clear scoring opportunities.
Oh, big hit.
Big hit by Thorpe. He put the hurt on Max Brown. Puck goes all the way to the other end. Oliver is going to take his chances with the faceoff as they get the icing. Crowd starting to settle into it. Noise level starting to wind down a little bit. Caruso, I think, telling his managers to go get the crowd into it. Or they're trying to get water. Manager's running around trying to get Caruso some water, maybe. I'm not sure exactly what's going on. But Ben leaves it for Abel. DeSmet coming out of the back. 7.5 to go. 7.5 minutes to play in one of these team seasons. Two very talented teams. And DeSmet with such a good game tonight. They've gotten themselves in this opportunity. Now it's just, can they take advantage? And if you're CBC, You write off the game and say, this is where we prove that we're the best hockey team in the state of Missouri.
That's
right here. We've been here, not in a mini game, but we've been here in big situations. We've been down in state games. We've dug back every single time.
Yep, they got to put a lot of pressure on DeSmet here in their own zone. They just have to force DeSmet to make a mistake here.
Good speed by CBC.
There's the mistake right there.
Weber trying to find Andrews. Andrews still shot just over the bar. It is pure adrenaline out there on the ice. You can't see any fatigue in these guys. Offsides as Kobe Weber tangles over there with Cameron Osdiak.
But that's when they put the pressure on DeSmet down in front of the DeSmet net and in the corner, they forced DeSmet to make a turnover in center ice, or in the high slot there, and we got another scoring opportunity. That's what they need to do, is just force DeSmet to make mistakes in their own zone.
It will be Randazzo, Ritter, and Gagan, and then O'Donnell and Hubert for the Cadets. For the Spartans, it is Gibson and Opic at the back. And your forward line for the Spartans right now is Estes, Kinzel, and Mullen. So second line's out there right now. Although Estes had himself a good game too. He's got a pair of goals. Be a face-off to Will Oliver's left. And Oliver has had such a good game. Made one mistake in the second period that resulted in a CBC goal, but that is it. That is the only blip on an otherwise stellar performance for the DeSmet.
Got to pressure these guys. Got to pressure them hard now.
That's O'Donnell. Can't clear. Still O'Donnell. DeSmet gains. This is Estes. And Jack Estes is going to dump it in looking for Mullen. That puck's fired across. Shot comes in. Second shot from Opic. And who's over there to shut it down but Joey Gagan. Evan Hubert over there helping as well. Could be an opportunity for Mullen. No, he's going to leave it for Gibson. Gibson shot in front. Goal.
Oh, no.
That is a goal scored by number 20. Was that 23, Danny Kinzel?
He was at the back door, and that puck came through the crease, and he was there with the wide open net.
So 23, Danny Kinzel opens the scoring with a back post goal. It is 1-0 DeSmet in the minigame. 5 minutes, 45 seconds to go. Again, not golden goal. It is not golden goal. It is not sudden death. We still have 5 minutes and 45 seconds of hockey to go, but what a goal that is. Huge opportunity. And I got to credit DeSmet. If Kinzel's not there, it looked like Mullen was there to tap it in too. So you get two guys going to the back post. You're playing the percentages on that one. Here's Kramer. They're giving the goal to Justin Reynolds, 22, not to 23, Danny Kinzel. We'll trust him on that. Couldn't see the numbers.
Whoever it was wide open on the back door.
Mullen had it, or I'm sorry, that was Randazzo had it poked away from him by Caruso. Otherwise, it could have been 2-0 already.
Yep, and DeSmet is just attacking the goal right now.
Deba. Grant Kleinschmidt. Good defense there by Reynolds. You know, I think it was Kinzel that scored. I think that might be a public address error. But a good defensive play at the other end by Reynolds. Inside of 5 minutes to go, 1-0 in favor of DeSmet. If you're a fan of high school sports, we hope you're enjoying this one. We've got official pizzas, we've got official chicken sandwiches. I keep calling for the official defibrillator of the Cadet Student Network. We could use it at the moment.
Well, they could use a goal is what they need. They're not going to get it icing the puck.
That would be nice.
Not going to get it if they're icing the puck.
And lots of icing for CBC here. And DeSmet's been content to take it every single time. 1-0 Spartans, 4:51 to go. Well, you talk about the pressure on the CBC team that they kind of put on themselves, that the program, just the expectations of the program, the weight of the program. I mean, how hard is it right now to just go out and do your job?
Well, I mean, again, they're going to have to, everyone's just going to have to do their individual job and be solid and realize what's at stake here and give that extra 10%.
Got to credit Tony Andrews for doing just that. He's been, I think he's been outstanding tonight.
Yeah,
he's been
played
involved.
A great game.
He's been lively. He's made himself despised by the DeSmet players. He's been a nuisance, and a lot of times in the forecheck, he's been kind of driving it for the Cadets. Here's Howes, gains the zone, and DeSmet clears right away. Options though, Thorpe in the middle. That shot's blocked. Actually, might have been whiffed. The shot was coming in from Randazzo, Steven Randazzo, not Hoppy Randazzo.
Boy, the Cadets need to start moving their feet now. There's only, 3.5 minutes left.
Eric Brown, can he get to this puck? He does. Eric Brown, leading goal scorer, cutting inside, leaving it for Deba. Deba can't get there. Kleinschmidt coming in on the pinch, but he can't keep the puck in the zone. Deba's helmet off again. That's the second time his helmet's been off. He got tangled up there. Couldn't tell exactly who that was he got tangled up with. I'm surprised they're not making him leave the ice. I guess they don't remember that it was his helmet earlier, too.
Yeah, that's surprising to me. That helmet comes off. That's just so dangerous. They're going to bring the faceoff out to center ice, I believe.
3 minutes, 39 seconds. And they are going to make Mike Deba go get his helmet looked at.
Well, with just over 3.5 minutes left, the Cadets are going to have something special from somebody. Someone's going to have to really make a play here.
Confusion about who's coming in for Deba.
Looks like Hunter Bulger.
So having to switch the lines on the fly here. It is Bulger, Brown, and Grant Kleinschmidt, your leading line. Bulger, the freshman, in between Grant Kleinschmidt and Eric Brown. Just shows you the confidence this coaching staff has in him. As Deba's over there on the bench getting his helmet situation
Come on, let's
sorted
go.
out.
Got numbers.
He might be borrowing a helmet. He is. Three minutes, 20 seconds. Opportunity. Poked off the stick of Eric Brown.
Good back check.
It was. Eric Brown trying to win it back off Thorpe, who with 2 goals tonight has been one of the stars.
Okay, 3 minutes left. We need someone to put some pressure on him here. Don't just let him break out at will.
And CBC starting the circle. Riley Howes shutting down one pass. It's Bulger who's going to shut down the other. Howes coming over to help. Really calm play back there from DeSmet.
Yeah.
I was about to criticize for not just clearing it, but
big hit down in the corner on Max Brown.
that was.
Here's a
Puck
break
breaks for
Howes
Riley
now.
Howes. He's held back. He's held back.
They got the penalty coming.
It is going to be a man-up opportunity for CBC as Riley Howes was held back gaining the zone. There is no question about that call and no protest from anybody wearing maroon. He was interfered with.
Well, that sure makes it interesting. With 2.5 minutes left, we got a 2-minute power play.
Wow.
I think Coach Joseph's got to think about pulling Caruso here pretty soon, too.
DeSmet's going to take a timeout here.
Smart move.
It is.
Smart move. I think Coach Joseph's going to have to think about pulling the goalie here with maybe a minute, 2 minutes left, minute and a half left to get a 6-on-4.
So if you're DeSmet, most important penalty kill of your career. Again, they have killed 2 of them so far tonight. Can they get another one? What do you talk about in a huddle in this situation? I mean,
I think Coach Durso is probably telling these guys how effective they need to be on the kill and just be calm and ice the puck. And I think Coach Joseph is reinforcing how important it is to get a goal here and letting these guys know that this is the time to dig deep right here. You got 2.5 minutes left and you got to get a goal.
The CBC fans getting into it. Student section trying to inspire their team. This is uncharted territory for him, staring elimination in the face in the semifinals. And Caruso getting the, I saw 1 minute.
Is that what he said?
That's what he said. So I don't know if that's in 1 minute or with 1 minute left. I would imagine it's probably in 1 minute.
Yeah, probably in 1 minute. They'll pull him with a minute and a half left.
Yeah.
And then they'll have a minute of 6-on-4.
That order was coming to Caruso from Nick Caracello, CBC's defense coach. All right, here's Andrews. Andrews, Kramer, Brown out there. That is off the back of the leg of Owen Benben. Kramer again. Got to be about the most important shift in recent history for CBC hockey.
Yeah, this is a big one right here.
Deba in front.
Oh.
Kleinschmidt can't get there. Kramer, he's got a shot. Takes it. Deflected wide. Andrews. 1 minute, 56 seconds to go in this game. 1 minute, 25 seconds to go in the power play. DeSmet clears the zone. Here comes CBC. This is Van Kramer, the leader of this team so far tonight. Kramer across the ice for the captain, Eric Brown. Brown trying to dump in.
It's going to be a 6-on-4 now.
6 skaters out there for the Cadets. Have to maintain the zone here. Deba. Back out with borrowed helmet. Riley Howes with the shot gets saved. CBC cannot keep it in. They're going to have to reset. 48 seconds to go in the power play. 1 minute, 12 seconds to go in the game. Saved by Oliver. That'll be a face-off right in front of him then. CBC will be happy with this face-off. 1-0 in the minigame.
Coach Joseph's going to call a timeout here and set his guys up. So I think he's going to try and set up a 6-on-4 play here. He's got 44 seconds, a 6-on-4.
If you're Coach Jose, who's your shooter?
Van Kramer, Eric Brown, or Tony Andrews. One of the three of them. If you can get one of those guys out and get the puck on their stick, that's who you want shooting.
What a game.
What a fun game.
I mean, this has really been, if you take a step back and just put biases aside, which of course in a rivalry like this is next to impossible, but what hockey we have seen. DeSmet has come out and really just, they took it to CBC for large sections of regulation. It has been so back and forth, kind of a back post, open man, just kind of left unattended, is the difference right now. All of this hockey we've played last Saturday, tonight, and, it comes down to one guy left open at the back post, and now a 6-on-4 opportunity. If DeSmet can hold on, this is, Thermopylae, but they survive.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a good game, and it's really been even throughout a lot of the game.
1 minute and 11 seconds. Is that all that remains in CBC's season? It'll be Eric Brown taking the face-off. He's been good tonight.
Got to hold the zone.
Still Brown. Here. Have to hold the zone. Again, 6-on-4. No goaltender for the Cadets. This is Grant Kleinschmidt. Now Mike Deba. Deba for Brown. He's got Van Kramer up top. Kramer. Tony Andrews. Shot off a skate. Deba behind. Can't get it. Puck cleared the length of the ice. That's going to go wide. 44 seconds. No icing.
Oh, that can't be icing. That's right.
Van Kramer, 37 seconds to go.
That'll be icing. Now they got to put Caruso back in.
For the record, it's behind us banner, but I believe it's 5 seconds remaining on the power play for CBC. What a penalty kill that is for DeSmet. You got to say they would love nothing more than to end CBC's streak and go to the state finals. And if you are CBC, you have 32.4 seconds. Caruso has got a problem with his pad.
Well, someone's going to have to step up big here, I'll tell you.
Looks like his skate.
Who's he got? Andrews, Deba, and Riley House out there.
There's some speed there.
With Kramer.
Yeah, it looks like Kramer.
And Eric Brown.
Yep.
He's got 4 forwards. 5 forwards. No, 4 forwards.
Well, Van Kramer's a little bit everything right now, so.
Yeah.
All right, Caruso is set. 32.4 seconds. Face-off just in front of the CBC goal. 1-0 DeSmet in the minigame. the winner of this 10-minute game goes to state. Brown flicks it in, 22 seconds to go. Good hit by Eric Brown as well. Do or die right now for CBC. No goalie. DeSmet with the puck. Goal, DeSmet. Thorpe scores. That is a hat trick for Nick Thorpe. And that looks like it's going to do it with 13.9 seconds to go. It is looking awfully likely.
The hats are coming on the ice from the DeSmet fans.
DeSmet has a date with SLU on March 13th. That is Wednesday, March 13th. I think you're supposed to throw hats, not water bottles, and I don't even know what that is. But the fans, you can understand their excitement for DeSmet. A really well-played game and a really well-played mini-game, and just gutting if you are a CBC fan
it's
right
stunning.
now.
I mean, I think the CBC fans are just stunned right now.
Now, not over. 13.9 seconds. Theoretically possible, you would say, but you certainly don't have your hopes up if you are CBC, and a lot of heads hung on that bench for CBC. Well, and you have to say that after so many years.
Well, unfortunately, it was going to end at some point. You just hate to be. You hate to be here when it happened.
But if you look at when it's ending, we talked about the hunger that DeSmet has, having had the door slammed on him so many times in recent years. If you are CBC and you're looking for a year for this to happen, look at the youth they have in this team this year.
Oh, sure.
You just run down the list. Rumpf, Kleinschmidt. You look at Kobe Weber. You look at Hunter Bulger. You look at Blake Harper. You look at Tony Andrews. You look at all of these young players for CBC and the futures that they have with this memory.
Absolutely.
This is a good thing in the long term for CBC hockey. But tonight, it's all about the DeSmet Spartans. Congratulations to the Spartans on a great game. So it will be DeSmet against SLU, an all-Jesuit final on Wednesday, March 13th. Congratulations to DeSmet, and congratulations to CBC on a great season.
Yeah, good season.
And giving us a really great game that went down to the end. You couldn't ask for anything more. That's going to do it for us on the Cadet Student Network. I want to thank everybody who's made this broadcast possible. Max Adamski working camera tonight. I want to thank Randy Gardner, our fearless leader. Dean, it's been a pleasure having you up in the booth. Thanks for joining us. For all of us here at CBC and at CSN, my name is Tom Eichwald. I want to thank you for joining us and hope everybody has a wonderful night.